Hey guys, I've always wanted to build a Tesla coil and I finally got around to it. This is my 600,000 volt Tesla coil. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I built this one and how you can build one for yourselves. Coming up. We'll start with the power supply. For my power supply I wanted to use this 3000 volt neon sign transformer that I got from eBay. But these types of transformers have a problem. And the problem is that they have a circuit inside called a ground fault circuit interrupter, which when it detects an irregular current, it shuts off the system, making it unsuitable for Tesla coil use. So, I built this flyback transformer. It uses a driver that I might make a video about. Let me know down below in the comments. But this gave me mediocre results, and I was only able to reach about 50,000 volts, which was bad. So, my father bought me this 5,000 volt 40 watt neon sign transformer, which ended up working great. Alright, let's go on to the capacitor bank. For my capacitors, I first mapped out my Tesla coil on a program called Tesla Map. And it told me that for my secondary coil that I had already designed, I needed a capacitance of approximately 5 nanofarads. So, I got these capacitors. These are 20 kilovolt 10 nanofarad capacitors. And over here I soldered 2 in series to gain a capacitance of about 4.5 nanofarads. Next is a spark gap. For my spark gap I got a thick piece of PVC pipe and I drilled 2 holes on either end of it. Through those holes I put 2 screws that ended up being really close together in the middle like that. That ended up being my spark gap, which is really simple, and it works great. Next is the primary coil. For my primary coil, I laser cut these holders down that hold the primary coil down very well, and it spaces it out as well, so I don't have to worry about it arcing together. Next is the secondary coil. For my secondary coil, I made this coil winding thing. You basically put your tube of PVC in here, and you start to spin this, which spins the thing, and you start feeding your wire through it. And that's how I made my secondary coil. It has about 1,200 turns, which the program Tesla Map will tell you. After I had designed both my primary and secondary coils, I put all my things into this calculator. This calculates the resonance frequency of the coil, and it tells you can calculate capacitance, inductance, or frequency, which is great. This works perfectly. Next is this. I put a fan in there to cool down the capacitors and blow all the ozone away from the spark gap. This is how I built my Tesla coil. Also, it has this transformer here that steps the voltage down to 12 volts from the 120 volt AC. Comes in. That is then fed into this motor right here. That's how I built my Tesla coil. On top I put a little nail spike thing so that all the other breakout points, so that all the sparks would fly off of there. It's really very simple to build a Tesla coil. I'll show you guys how to assemble it in a second. This is the circuit diagram for the usual spark gap Tesla coil. Inside of this box right here is your neon sign transformer. That's obviously your capacitor, and then that's your spark gap. This is the primary and secondary coils. In here, the 120 volts AC comes into here and is boosted up to a higher voltage by the transformer. The transformer is then fed into this capacitor, which charges up the capacitor. As the capacitor keeps being charged up, the voltage across it increases, which eventually becomes high enough voltage to short the spark gap, which is then fed into the primary coil. This creates extremely strong electromagnetic pulses that are fed from the primary coil into the secondary coil like a transformer. If the resonant frequencies of both the primary circuit and the secondary circuit are the same, you get a very high voltage on the secondary. That's how a Tesla coil works. It's quite simple. Alright, I guess it's time to fire it up, but I don't really feel like burning my computer, because I've noticed that if you try to take a picture of my Tesla coil with the cell phone starts acting crazy and goes, starts clicking random things and stuff. So I'll make a separate video where I'll go far away, like over there on the door, with my phone, and I'll take a video of the Tesla coil running. Thanks for watching, guys.